Rajendran, Principal Kendriya Vidyalaya, Ottapalam, Palakkad. He have an experience in the field of teaching for 30 years, and apart from having been in KVS across the country, he has been in Moscow, Russia. Welcome to the webinar, sir. Also, we welcome our beloved faculty, Mrs. Rahmat Salam, to the webinar, and also I welcome my 74th NCDC batchmates. I welcome all of you.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Now, am I permitted to start?
Yes, sir.
Okay, nice. Very good afternoon, all of you.
Good
Good afternoon.
sir.
It's indeed a privilege to come out of Kendriya Vidyalaya and interact with educators, teachers, faculty members. For a principal, for a teacher, there is no better opportunity than this, because in fact, I am welcoming a lot of ideas into my Vidyalaya by getting along with you people. Thank you for the invitation. It has been accommodated thanks to Deepa ma'am, and definitely Rahmat Salam ma'am. I would like to thank you so much for giving this opportunity. When the entire thing was brought to me, I was given a lot of liberties, which is normally not allowed on many occasions. I'm thankful to that. Then when I discussed with asked Deepa ma'am on what I should speak, first she spoke about some other topic, fine. That was a school as a social center, which is a very beautiful topic. But then I think because of my non-availability on that occasion, the topic was stolen away from me. Thankfully, because today, then I was given a choice of mine. And I thought when I am communicating with people sitting in KV or OTTAPALAM, and I'm given to understand that there are people from across the state and sitting abroad too. So that's a big opportunity. That's a very big opportunity to communicate with people. And I thought, why not we have a topic like communication and communication skills? I just request all the participants to be interactive, to be in the communicative mode, because communication is possible. The topic can be successfully, shared only when we communicate with each other. Please don't allow me to be a very traditional teacher who talks endlessly. I'm sure you will not allow that to happen. The good old method is talk and talk. Definitely chalk is not available with me, but I may be able to talk. But I won't like to do that. We'll communicate. So definitely there is some difference between just talking and communicating. That's fine. Let's go to the first slide to see what exactly is communication. It is an act of transferring information from one place to another. Okay. Could you throw some light on this? If you people could, I have just triggered your imagination. Act of transferring information from one place to another, from Ottapalam to different places, transferring information. How do we do it? What is this transferring of information all about? Could you just put some of you throw light on that, please? And basically, I am a teacher of English. So I used to tell my students in the class always that there is no wrong answer, and as long as you speak English, because one of the biggest things an English teacher proposes to happen in the class is to make the students speak in English. So when they do that, there is no right or wrong answer. So in the same way, we are all sitting in the same platform. Please don't classify me out. Okay, please interact.
You
What
can
do
unmute.
please? I think
So I just sharing the information means sharing one's views or imaginations to the other person.
yeah, fantastic, fantastic, Diana ma'am. Yeah, Diana ma'am has opened the innings for us. Okay, nice. Yeah, surely, ma'am, that's the right answer. Then any other ideas from your side? Yeah, Jitana madam wanted to say something, please.
Yes. Sir, like expressing our views, like what we have in our mind to communicate in the same way so that the other person also understands what we have in our mind.
Exactly, exactly. Anybody else, please? Thank you, ma'am.
Share our feelings.
Yeah, share our feelings. Yeah, definitely. Nice, Justina ma'am. Good.
Having a mutual understanding.
Having mutual understanding, definitely. Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Having a mutual understanding. Yeah,
Sharing our thoughts and messages.
yeah, sharing our thoughts. Yeah, sharing our thoughts and sharing our messages, right?
Sharing our emotions.
Yeah, sharing our emotions, definitely. Thank you.
Ideas.
Yeah, sharing ideas, definitely.
Sharing what we know to others.
Ah, fantastic. Yeah, sharing what we know with the others. Yeah, definitely. That's true. And sometimes sharing what we don't know with others also. Am I right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. On many of the occasions, it's sharing what we don't know with others. And most dangerous thing is when we share what we half know with the others and stamp it as the most authentic one.
Yeah,
correct.
And teachers are the smartest ones in doing that. I don't know whether you will agree with me, but
yes.
and
Yes,
that business that business works very well because the children are the poor victims of that.
correct.
But now I think as teachers, we'll have to be honest enough to say,
Yes.
if we don't know something, that also is a sharing of it. Okay, we come out of that. Now we have a number of suggestions from different people. Now, how do we do this? Let's see, how do we do this? Okay. First one is vocally. That means using voice. Definitely. What we do now, we use our voice. And I think that is the most common communicative tool, communicative means. Then in writing, that is using printed or digital media such as books, magazines, websites, email. We are into, a webinar now. So that's another way of communicating. Then visually, using logos, maps, charts, graphs, etc. Or non-verbally, using body language,
Yes.
gestures, and through the pitch of voice. Now, for example, Ramat Salam madam is communicating a lot through her smile. She is reassuring me. Don't worry, Rajendran, we are here on the other end, so you can go on speaking, right? That in fact that gives a lot of positive. Using body language, non-verbal communication, I think, is the most common communication and the most effective one also. Can any one of you tell me, when do we start this non-verbal communication? When do we start it? In which,
Childhood.
pardon?
From the
Childhood.
childhood.
From the childhood. From the childhood. From which day onwards?
From the birth,
Infant stage.
prenatal period
Infant time.
by
In fact,
kicking,
I have a lot of women audience. I don't know whether they will
Kicking.
agree with me when if I say that the non-verbal communication starts from the womb itself.
yes, prenatal period.
And who else understands it the best than the mother? Mother is the person to understand that non-verbal communication. From that day onwards, till the final organ of the body rests in eternal peace. I hope you understand. Till
Yes.
the
Yes.
all the organs of human beings rest in eternal peace. Till that last day, we continuously communicate through non-verbal communications. That is using our body language, using gestures. Even the pitch of the voice is a very big gesture. And I think for teachers, this is the best tool that can be used for the teachers. And teachers, parents do use it. Why not? Why teachers? Even parents. Everybody uses. So this is a very important tool of communication, non-verbal communication. For a teacher, can anyone tell me, for a teacher, how does it help to build the vocal, the writing one, and the visual one? In fact, though I mentioned it vocal as the first, in writing as the second, visual as the third, and non-verbal as the fourth, in fact, the communication starts with non-verbal.
Yes.
Do you agree with me?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Yes, sir.
And how can a teacher, because all of us are either teachers or aspiring teachers, how can a teacher develop a non-verbal communication in the child in the most effective way? Can any one of you, can some of you share your ideas with me? Yeah. Priya ma'am, don't
Yes.
hesitate.
Yeah, with a smile.
Smiling
Yeah.
face.
Yeah, we can through our patch.
Yeah.
Yeah, just with a
Can-
touch like a pat.
Exactly. Right. Okay.
Smile.
A teacher can observe the kids. A teacher can observe the kids closely and then understand what exactly the child is facing or feeling.
Sure.
Based on that, the teacher can respond accordingly.
Sure. Thank you. Any other responses? Please.
So just giving some claps or something. If they are children's answering something, we'll be showing them by the clapping or something. So it's an encouragement also.
Right. Sure. Definitely. A smile, a pat, a clap, any of these.
Yes.
Open communication, sir.
Pardon.
Open communication with
Open
the
communication. Could you elaborate a bit on that?
We have to sit with the kid and talk about their family, about the. Suppose the kid can be affected by something, so we have to sit with the kid, and sometimes we have to spend with that kid.
Yeah. That's good.
For that,
Just a minute, please. All right. Okay. That's good. Then any more?
Encouragements, we have to find what the child likes.
Yeah.
Or whatever makes the kid happy.
Yeah.
So a teacher has to figure out what brings a smile on his face.
Yes.
So identifying that, and accordingly a teacher can do some exercises for that.
You boost those areas, count on those areas and build on those areas. Okay. What makes the child happy? Yeah, definitely. That's a very sweet answer, I thought.
giving stars, sir.
Ah.
Giving stars. Nowadays, schools, teachers are giving stars to kids.
Yes.
They will happy when they got 1 star. They were very happy.
Definitely. Yeah.
Sir, doing some facial expression while teaching and all, if story or something, if you're making facial expressions and all,
That's really
they
good.
will be
Yeah,
more easy.
that'd be very, yeah, good. That means animate yourself so much that the child feels what you speak.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
And feels what you speak. You become less vocal though you speak, and
Yes.
become
Yes.
more non-verbal. It's actually a mixture of both. You know,
Yes.
now when I am doing
Yes.
that, when you are doing, when you are sharing ideas with me, when I am sharing ideas with me, we are actually taking the help of both.
Both.
Involuntarily, we don't know we are doing that, but I am doing a lot of gestures. I'm making a lot of gestures. When you speak, you are also doing the same thing. Why are we doing that? Because we want to communicate the best. Sitting here and just mumbling certain words out of what I have written there may not help the receiver get the best of the ideas. So what is the best idea? This is the best idea.
Best time.
Very good. That's great. Ramat ma'am, you have a very receptive audience. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
And then let us discuss the other one, visual. You know, that is the next one, visual. Logos, maps, charts.
Ma'am, thanks.
At a higher level. That's at a higher level. But I think I am given to understand that you are actually aiming to teach even lower class kids. So there, instead of maps, charts, and all, any of the visually appealing substance can motivate a child to communicate.
Yes.
One of the findings from international study tells that children who are otherwise unable to speak, or rather have difficulties in speaking, difficulty in expressing themselves, are motivated the most through visual images. Nothing like visual image.
Yes.
That's why sometimes a smiling mom evokes the feelings of home in the classroom rather than 1,000 words spoken about mom. Mom comes alive in the classroom. So such visual imagery is something very important for a teacher. These are very important tools for a teacher. And vocal, of course, we are using it a lot. If we mix these three properly, if we are able to build up these three things properly, we end up getting the final result that we actually want. Writing. Using printed digital media such as books, magazines, websites, or emails. If a proper mixture of all the other is done, the result might be best of the writing. On many occasions, what happens is that we complain a lot about the children not being able to write properly. In fact, if writing is imagined as output, the input could be what could be the input? If output is, just imagine, output is writing, then what could be input? Starting with
Study.
Non-verbal communication, visual communication, and
Spoken.
these three things are taken care of properly, then naturally the fourth one will be a very good product. It is the end product. In fact, not complain about the output if the input is not all right. On many occasions, we don't take care of these three things. That's why we complain about the children not being able to write properly.
Yes.
So when we have an accusing finger on the children, imagine all the other fingers are pointed towards us. And we need to, in fact, build upon these things. I'm sure in the lower classes, if we are able to do this, the result could be seen in the higher classes. Shall we move forward? Any queries from this part? Any other suggestions from this part?
No, sir.
No, sir, all clear.
Please. Communication is a combination of all these things and more. Already we have discussed. Then Importance of good communication skills. What is the importance of good communication skills, and where are the areas where this is very important? In fact, it affects every part of our life: personal, professional, and social.
Social.
Personal life could be hellish if we are unable to communicate properly.
Yes.
And communication, I think, should start with oneself. If I am able to communicate with myself confidently, then I become a confident person. I can communicate with others also confidently. If I am poor on communicating with myself properly, then definitely you can't blame others. So personally, communicating with oneself, that is personal communication. Is there anything else that people can add from the other side? If I can hear more about it, I would be happy.
So to have a good relationship, like to build a rapport between two people, communication is very important. Like so to understand, so that you understand the other person better.
Okay. Any more?
The communication is the main tool of making understand with each other.
Yes, yes. We understand each other. Yeah, fine. Through communication, fine. Thank you. Good.
To have a peace of mind, sir.
Exactly. Exactly. You can't have a better idea than that. To have peace of mind. Many times we don't have that peace of mind because we don't communicate with ourselves properly. We
Yes.
have, we have either we have a lot of airs about ourselves and we end up doing nothing, or we are not able to understand ourselves and express the man in me. Okay, so these are the things. Then, of course, I think the professional part of it, people can understand it better. This is the professional part. You see, now we are on a professional platform. If
Yes.
we are not able to communicate with each other properly, then this program is a big failure. This is a flop. If we are able to communicate with each other properly, then there is some communication happening here. That is professional communication. I think this part we need not mention too much, but understand, for a teacher, if the teacher is professionally competent in communicating properly, the teacher becomes a huge hit, even if he is or she is not the best subject expert, especially in the lower classes. The other day, I was standing in front of my chamber on the very first day of the exam. Sessional examinations are going on. So I was just before the morning assembly, on the very first day of the morning sessional examination, I was just standing out of my chamber. At that time, a young teacher who has joined us, say 1 month back, 1 or 2 months back, a young teacher. Uh, in fact, there was a lot of noise outside. Okay, so I was wondering why in the morning itself so much of noise on the very first day of exam. Normally that never happens, and students were talking very enthusiastically in a jovial manner. So I just wanted to move out, and one teacher, the young man, was talking to the students, and they were interacting with him. They were asking many doubts and all those things. And I stood there without interfering in their business for some time. And as they were to move out of their place and go to their examination hall, one of the boys came to me and told her, I was smiling, sir, very nice teacher, बहुत अच्छा teacher है, हिंदी में बहुत अच्छा teacher है. I saw brother teacher है sir, brother teacher. He expressed that because he is unable to express many other things, but brother teacher. I asked, what is that? Sir, भैया जैसा पढ़ाता है ना, भैया जैसा पढ़ाता है. See, that's what happens. The relationship becomes, the relationship enters another level. The teacher, but he says that an elder, like an elder brother. So the professionally, he is able to communicate the best. He is just 3 months old into his profession. So it is not that he has taught them a number of things. It is not that he has become a Ramanujam in front of all these people. Nothing like that. But he has done one thing. Professionally, he has been able to communicate to the students that the teacher is available at any point of time, especially when at the time of difficulty. I think professionally, if we are able to communicate properly, it helps us a lot. And social, on the social platform, definitely, no doubt about it. That's why many times we have no, we gossip around the people, and we say like, are there only Malayalis or any from outside Malayalis also?
Yes.
Eh?
Benita ma'am is there from Tamil Nadu.
Right. Just wanted to use, no, we used to gossip around them, like, oh, അവൾക്ക് പറ്റിയ ഡമ്പ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഒന്നും മിണ്ടാറില്ല. Okay, all these things are because he or she lacks that social quotient. That's the problem. Social communication links are not properly established. That's why maybe that gentleman or lady also, he has a lot of emotions, has a lot of love, has a lot of regard. It's not that he or she doesn't want to talk to us, but the social communication skills that has taken a beating, maybe because of that. Anything more about this people would like to tell, please? Shall we move on to the, anyway, in total, ability to communicate information accurately and clearly is a vital life skill. It's not about the teacher, it's about any human being. No, it's not about human being alone, it's about any animal. And in that, man boasts that he is the best, but you might have seen how the animals communicate. The ants, the smallest of the ants, how they communicate with each other using their antennae. So
Yes.
every of the animal has a qualitative communication skill. That's what I wanted to tell, and that's a vital life skill.
Yes.
Now, if this is a vital life skill, and if we, how do we know how much of this skill we have and how much of this skill we don't have? And if we understand that, some of us might be wondering, isn't it too late for us to start? No, communication skills can be developed at any point of time, and it adds to our quality of life. It is possible for anybody to get trained on this, getting the communication skill. It's not, to some people it's quite naturally happens, but it can be trained, no doubt about it. Any comments on that?
Yes.
Does it improve our quality of life?
Yes.
Definitely it improves. Anybody would love to share any episode when you improved, when you thought, yeah, wonderful, yeah, my communication skills really saved me? Anybody would love to? I told you that I would love to take some learning experience home. Okay, it's not that you'll any episode, if you can mention, that would be great. Any episode when you thought that your communication skill saved the situation, or you became very happy, yeah, done, or the other way around, oh, had I been able to communicate better, things would have been better. Anybody?
No experience, sir, but I think after joining this course, I am very comfortable in my English communication level. I am very confident speaking in English.
Yeah, very good. Ma'am, Ramad ma'am,
Yes, sir.
congrats.
It's all their hard work, sir. How much
We
effort
also
they are
think
taking.
that
Yeah, somebody
starting time,
responded.
we also think that I can. You can ask the Rahmat ma'am. Starting time, I will never open my mouth in our class. After that, um, after the some days, I am start talking. because
good.
I'm talking in Malayalam, but in our classes we want to talk in English. So we get the confidence. If we are making mistake, but it's okay. We are talking in English. We get that confidence, sir.
Very good. Very good. Yeah, that's correct. That's why I told you, no, never too late to work on our communication skills.
Yes.
When the final day of life is also the day to start with that, because you will be very happy. And the most important thing, as Tanzi Mol ma'am, am I right?
Yes.
Madam
Yes.
told, it adds to your confidence. The moment you do something, well, you express something, you will feel that, yeah, I have done it. I also have done
Yes.
it. Yeah. And it
Sir, before my life, if anyone is start to talk in English, I will never open my mouth. Now I am talking to you
Yeah, yeah.
because of I get the confidence from this NCDC.
Okay. Earlier, no, at a point of, at different points of time, we might, all of us might have been the Suraj Venyara modes. Like Suraj Venyara mode was telling, no, go straight, left, then straight,
Yes.
like that. Oh,
Sir,
all of us are doing
you asked that wow moment. Now I'm feeling that wow moment.
You can. Yeah, good. Shall we move on? Any other sharing of the experience from your sides?
Yes, we can move.
Okay, shall we move on?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Now, why communicate? Why after all communication skills? That's another question. One of the first answers will be to speak appropriately with a wide variety of people. Without this channelization of proper communication skills, also we will be able to survive, no doubt about it, because in a family we survive, in our home we survive, but why to have proper communication skills appropriately with a wide variety of people? Now you see, all of us belong to different socio-economic background, political background, geographical background. Our thoughts are different, but we are communicating. We are building a communication. Okay, but how to do that? The first one will be maintaining a good eye contact. I think this could help you as well as a teacher, you could ensure that in the students also this is, inculcated. Maintaining a good eye contact. I don't have to explain much about it because you tell your children, you tell your family members, you tell, "Mogatho ki samsarikada," എന്ന് പറയും നമ്മൾ. Why we are telling that? Look at the eye and speak. That's the command. Why? Because then immediately you will be able to understand whether he is telling the right thing or not. So that's the first thing. Then using varied vocabulary and adjusting our language to our audience. Adjusting our language to our audience. What is this? Could anybody tell me? Adjusting the language to our audience. Is there something like that?
To I think it is right or not. I don't know.
It is right.
With the simple language, the way of letting knowing to others in the simple language.
Yeah. Good. Yeah. Anything else? Anybody else?
Depending upon the audience, we have to.
Can you give an example?
Suppose the lower, suppose the children there means we have to use the lower vocabulary there.
Yeah. Yes.
What they know, that vocabulary we have to use there. Suppose the adult will be there means according to that we will use.
Absolutely wonderful. Really good. Really good. Yeah, that's adjusting our language. Adjusting our language not only for the children. We adjust the language. For example, when I'm talking to my friends, when I'm talking to you formally in a meeting like this, when I'm talking to my teachers over here, when I am talking to my teachers here itself in order to communicate something where I am not very happy.
Yes.
In order to communicate to my teachers, it has been splendid show, wonderful, great. To express my displeasure on a particular occasion, we vary our vocabulary. vocabulary will be different, language will be different. I mean, the language used, the vocabulary selection of diction will be different. That's what I meant. Anything else on this? Anybody else would love to?
No.
One thing.
Please.
My daughter told that our principal is very strict in assemblies and all. He's very strict. But now I understand that you are not at all strict. You are very.
Thank you. Thank you for the compliment. That means I am able to adjust my language as per the occasion. In fact,
Yes.
that should happen. You know, my disposition speaks. It's not Rajendran who is speaking, it's the principal who is speaking. I am a principal inside the campus. Now, when I speak to you, I am your guest speaker, Rajendran. Okay, I'm talking about communication skills. But when you come to my campus and on a different occasion, it might be. This is what I meant, you know, at different times, different language to different audience. Ramat madam wanted to say something.
Actually, normally we speak English with our English and the formal way in the classes. But occasionally we becomes when according to the topics and all, we may become little informal. We talk about our experience, opinions and all. But yesterday, one of the student has visited me. She has seen my other version. I should say that other version of me, she have seen. So the same experience which you have told.
That's it. That's it. That is something to be developed by every teacher, because otherwise what will happen is that your class will be taken for granted. And to the same child at a different occasion, you'll have to speak so passionately and empathetically that the child should be surprised. Is it the same teacher who was speaking to me the other day? Yes. That's what communication skill is all about. Our communication skills. I think we can move on.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Is it all right? This particular listening effectively. Is listening a part of communication?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes.
Which is more important, speaking or listening?
Listening.
Listening. Then only we can speak.
But I would love to tell you from my experience as a teacher for long, and from my experience as a principal, that teachers do listen the least. Generally, I'm not telling that anybody. Okay, I'm not pinpointing at anybody, but we do speak a lot. That is why in scientifically there is a saying about teaching. Lesson TTT, improve LTT. Okay, TTT should be less, LTT should be more. I didn't mean LTTE. Okay. TTT. Can anybody tell me?
Teacher talking too much.
Talk time. Whose talk time?
Teachers
Teachers talk time. Teachers talk time should be less. Now LTT you can understand. What is LTT?
Listen.
Listen. Or learners talk time. Or students talk time. STT. That should be more. But in a general class, what will happen is that the teacher will go on teaching, preaching, and the poor student will have to listen. So student, that is the importance of listening. A good teacher is a great listener. A good teacher, no doubt, is a great listener. And any listener is loved, because this world is starved. There are very few listeners. There are many speakers. This world suffers from speakers and starves from listeners. So please do listen. Listening, I think listening effectively is the most important tool to speak effectively. That's why I'm trying to listen to you, because I know that otherwise I'll get derailed. I want to know whether you are listening. Otherwise, at the end of the show, you will tell no. Somebody was coming here, and for the last 45 minutes, anyway, nothing happened. But listening is very important. Listening is a very big tool. Okay. And the more you listen, the better you understand the child. The better you listen, the better a teacher you become. Not only a better teacher, not a better human being also. And train the same thing with students also. Let them listen, and then they will become better speakers. And the more they listen and speak, the better they will be able to write also properly. Therefore, listening is a very important tool in communication. Now, the next part is writing clearly and concisely and working well in a group. I think these two parts, will be very important for any teacher, writing clearly and concisely, working well in a group, because the teacher is working in a group called with the students. If the teacher forgets that group, then it becomes a disaster. Any comments on this part? Writing clearly and concisely, both are two terms, clearly and concisely. On many occasions, this is a big challenge. Suppose we are given a situation, please, I couldn't come yesterday to the Vidyalaya, please write what happened. And then what happens, a number of emotions come through our mind and we start speaking, we start writing a lot. Therefore, what happens is that you stop becoming concise. So becoming clear and becoming concise is a very important part. It should start with the teacher and it should pass on to the student. I think you can ponder over that, because that itself could be a session. In fact, if we start writing, I remember an exercise we had been assigned. We were in IIT Chennai for a particular course. So there was a wonderful lady who came from the Indian Express, and a reporter, a young lady who came from Indian Express, and she told us to write. A topic was given, paper was given. We started writing. We were very happy that most familiar topic was given. We started writing very nicely, and we submitted all our writing. She was very happy that all the teachers have written such a wonderful English. Everything was fine. But then she told the question was, how you will report it the best to the Indian Express. Situation is given, how you will report this the best to the Indian Express. Indian Express doesn't have 6 column space for me to write all these things. They have better news to report on. You are not concise. We are clear about it, but we are not concise. So going both sides going together is a very big challenge. I think I'm not going to elaborate on it. I think many of these essential skills that teachers should have. Please do ponder over, and then you can definitely have it. Shall I move on? Anything else?
Yes, sir.
About these?
Sir.
Then personal and professional relationships. Personal and professional relationships are built and broken depending on one's communication skills. Go to a workplace, you will find for the last 10 years, I haven't spoken to that gentleman. People will be boasting. What has happened is that communication has collapsed. For the last 10 years, they are living in hell. They have a lot of things to share with each other, but they are stopping from each other from communicating. Communication failure. That's what happens. And in personal life, I don't have to elaborate, because many of the stories might be there. You may have wonderful stories of that. And if you don't have that, hats off to you, because you are a very good communicator. Okay, build that. Okay, if you don't have anybody who you have not spoken with for a long time, that means you are an absolutely wonderful communicator. In this short span of life in this world, we need not keep mum with anybody for such a long time, because when we end up the journey, we are going to enter long silence. So at least why not make some sort of communication now?
Yes.
Okay, fine. Failure to talk. Failure to talk is in fact blamed for a breakdown of a number of partnerships and relationships. But ability to listen is also important element. What has happened? A lapse of communication starts not with the failure to speak, but the failure to listen. Do you agree with me? A
Yes.
lapse of communication fails primarily because we don't listen, not primarily because we don't speak. We don't have the patience to listen. By the by, can any one of you tell me what is the difference between listening and hearing, if there is any difference? Can any one of you tell me what is the difference between listening and hearing?
Listening means we are taking on all the information what is being passed. Hearing means it will not be there in the mind, sir. It should not be there, like not necessary that it should be in the mind. But listening means whatever is communicating, we are observing everything.
Okay. May I ask a question now? How many of you have been hearing me? How many of you have been listening to me?
We all are listening to you.
I can understand because there are some responses. So listening is with attention. There is some hearing is a biological process. Okay. If you are not deaf, you are bound to hear. But if you decide that you will not listen, you need not listen to Rajendran. Very simple. So listening should not be confused with only hearing. A student sitting in the class might be all attention sitting like this, the ears pointed like the dog's one, but he might be only hearing you.
Yes.
That is the importance. Madam might have told, or in the practice you might be doing now. You might be asking questions, comprehension questions, all these types of questions. Why? Because it is to check whether this gentleman is with me or he is lost in the class.
Yes.
So listening is very important. That's why we say many important communications fail because of the lack of listening rather than because of the lack of ability to speak. Any episodes from your experience?
Personal experiences.
Ramat madam has something very funny
No,
to share.
no, sir. As Jidam, I'm saying personal experiences that we are having lot of personal experiences.
Yeah. In fact, that happens.
Most of the time, husbands hear us, not listeners.
We simply hear them.
That is true.
I know.
Yeah.
I am at the receiving end now. Mostly, I am the only odd man out. So
We decide whom to listen and not.
pardon, madam. So that's true. Lack of listening is a very important tool to break any communication, whether it is personal or professional or social also. In the social context also, many times people complain that you don't listen to me. You don't understand me. So
It
how does
starts
one
in.
understand you unless that gentleman or lady is listening to you? So failure to talk. Any failure in the communication is mainly attributed to listening rather than speaking. I think we can move on, shall we?
Yes, sir.
Otherwise,
Yes, sir.
now communication is in fact a two-way process. It's not a one-sided affair. Okay, that's why ladies, please understand that it's not a one-sided affair alone. Communication is not simply sending out information. What is it? It's a two-way process, involves both sending and receiving.
Receiving.
So communication failure may not be entirely because of the communicator. You can't blame the communicator alone for the communication failure. And what will happen? Requires both speaking and listening.
Listening.
Yeah. Most importantly, developing a shared understanding of information between transmitted and received. I hope this part is clear. Shall we move on?
Yes, move.
The recipient, I hope you understand. Recipient
Yes.
is, we were focusing on the center of communication, signaling.
Yes.
Now there is another tool, another person, the recipient.
Yes.
If you are the sender of information, then communicate clearly, whether in writing or face-to-face, asking questions to check the listener's understanding, listen to their replies, and if needed, clarify further. And if you are the recipient, listen carefully. And then whether you have understood by reflecting back or asking questions to ensure that you have understood it well. The sender of information becomes smarter, becomes more active by the involvement of the recipient. I hope I need not elaborate on this part, but asking questions that's why we encourage students to ask questions. Okay, questioning is a very important tool in communication, no doubt about it. So it's an active process, nothing passive about communication. Okay, I think this part is very clear. I'm not. Now, how to develop communication skills? Okay. This part already we have discussed, so I'm not going to elaborate. Now, how to develop communication skills? Self-awareness. That is the first tool. Are you aware of yourself? How good am I in communicating this? Many times what happens is that people venture into an area where they are not the best. If you are not good in that, then you may not be able to communicate that to the others. Very simple. Somebody who is not good in running 100 meters dash cannot give instructions to PT Usha. I go to PT Usha and give instructions on how running can be developed, how one can be a good runner. It lacks lack of self-awareness because I'm not aware of what is my capacity. So that is the first thing to be. Then habit of reflecting on success and failure and actions that have led to one or the other. Now I'll make it very simple. The second point, what is the habit of reflecting? After this particular session, I'm sure many of you will be talking about many things if you have time, or you might just ignore it because it was so wonderfully bad. Okay, but somebody should sit and reflect on it, and that man's name is Rajendran. He should definitely sit and reflect on it. How did it go? Did I communicate whatever I wanted? Were I listened to? Was there enough responses? All these things should be there. This is reflecting on success and failure. And as teachers, never worry about failures. Success never teaches anything. Failure teaches us everything. So don't worry. Somebody was telling about how they started speaking in English. This is reflecting after the session, after you spoke that sentence in English. If you're happy about yourself, if you reflect and you're happy about yourself, yes, you're done. Wonderful job. Done. That's about it. So first point is self-awareness, then reflecting, then verbal communication.
So I have a question here.
Please.
So how do we decide like which communication is like worth self-reflecting? Like, how do we decide? Like, we have so many personal communications happening with kids, with the spouse, and with parents, and with like externally also, professionally also, we communicate.
Yeah.
So reflecting on each and every communication is not possible in a day, right? So how do we how do we handle this?
Ma'am, very nice question. Thank you for the question. I don't think if I'm encroaching upon your time, please ring the bell and ask me to shut up. I'll get out.
Sir, no, no, no.
Please go ahead.
Ma'am, I agree with you and I disagree with you also.
Okay.
If you tell me that we are not reflecting on what we are doing every split second, we are wrong. Either it is because you are not reflecting on your reflections, madam. Or it is because you are not aware of that. We are reflecting on that. Every split second, we speak, we do gestures. I think at the time of sleep, I don't know. But otherwise, when we are woken up, we are reflecting on our every of the action. For example, I moved hand like this. The Rajendran in me is either satisfied with that or not satisfied with that. That is a reflection. You are not going to tell that to others. Okay. I have had a set of slides. I'm moving on with that. Luckily, you are wonderful people. So I'm getting responses. Every time what is happening is that I'm reflecting on the way I'm moving on. And it sends me the signal whether I should move on very quickly or I can be here for some more time. Reflection. You sat there. Now you are listening to me. You are counter checking whether that's true. That is reflection. Madam. What I told now, whether it is true or not, you might be agreeing or disagreeing with me in your mind of minds. Is it happening, ma'am?
Yes.
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 That's reflection. Very simple. Okay. So we are reflecting and we need to, and we do. There is nothing to worry about that. Okay. Did I answer your query?
Yes. Yeah.
Right. In a way.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Any more? Please feel free. We are into a communication. Okay. It's not this slideshow can be stopped at any point of time. Don't worry. It can be stopped at any point of time because we have communicated a lot. My intention is only that much. Okay, my intention is not to teach you any syllabus and ask you a few questions after that. That Rahmat madam might be doing tomorrow. Okay, so we move on, shall we?
Yes, sir.
Verbal communication, very simple. We have already spoken about it. I think you will agree with that. Questioning skills. See, you always look at this from both the angles. You need to develop that in you, and you need to develop that in the student also. Then only you are a successful teacher. Unless your student asks you a question, mind you, nothing has gone to the other side. Therefore, when students have a number of questions, be happy. That means some brainstorming has happened. Unfortunately, many of us think that no question, okay, so please don't do that. Especially in the younger minds, you just throw things. I don't know whether you are aware of that. The government of India is NEP. I'm sure that you know NEP. So under that, the government of India is planning to develop more and more of CCT, continuous and comprehensive, critical and creative thinking. CCT, critical and creative thinking. Gone are the days when we are going to have more and more of by-hearting and the same questions being asked and the same answers being written. Things are going to be more, interpretative. So questioning skill will have to be developed. Why questioning skill? questioning skill for clarification, for extracting more information. I'm sure these are very normal things. And as a way to maintain a conversation, I've been asking a number of questions to you. In the beginning, I was not very sure that I will get some response, but definitely I would have gone on asking questions had you not answered also, because this is to maintain the conversation. So I should be at least very sure that people are listening. I will be reassured. Okay. Now, non-verbal communication. Voice is only, they say, the tip of the iceberg. Voice is only the tip of the iceberg. Now, what actually are there? We actually communicate far more using non-verbal communication. This includes gestures, facial expressions, body language, tone of voice. Even our appearance speaks. In fact, for a teacher, half a battle is won through the personal appearance. That's why we say teachers should be very formally and thoroughly dressed. They can't take any liberty, because the first imprint on the child's mind is the teacher's personal appearance. My teacher looks like this. And especially with younger kids, just imagine each of them might go home and tell, my teacher today had worn this sort of a sari. He was wearing very nice dress today.
Yes.
My teacher always has a very shabby dress, that black trousers he never changes, it seems. Like this, they will communicate by our personal appearance. I'm not talking about personality, which is a totally different thing. Personal appearance or personal appearance also. But, it's very important thing. Body language, face and voice, personal presentation, personal appearance. Body language also. You see, if you're not properly appearing before the audience, say as a teacher, your audience is your student. If you're not appearing in front of them properly with a proper body language, that's why many times we ask the teachers not to sit on the table, teacher's table. We don't ask them to sit on the teacher's table, because that actually sends a very wrong signal. Teachers never stand, pause in front of the students like Jain or Mammootty or Mohanlal. Okay, for the ladies, your own figures. So why? Because for the child, that symbol is for something else. Teacher stands for a totally different thing. That's why we do that. Okay, so body language plays a very important part. Madam, I will call you back. Empathy. Please look at these, and I think some of you can tell me what it stands for.
Super. Okay.
The first one, louder please, if you could.
Point out, super.
Pointer, wonderful, pointer.
Point.
Super.
Yeah, thumbs up shows.
Okay.
Okay, very good, well done.
Good, well done.
Thumbs down.
Thumbs.
Thumbs down, indicative of Rajendran's today's session.
No, thumbs up.
Then
And
we are doing something like this. What is that? Yeah, and the answers might be having something different, I don't know, but normally it says, oh, wonderful.
Wonderful.
Wow.
Yeah.
Super.
Yeah, super. Yeah, super. And then like this,
Hi.
can indicate a number of things, but definitely, yeah, I recognize you. Yeah, there is a crowd, and if some of you meet me somewhere and then, sir, okay, fine, that's nice. So different verbal, non-verbal, and these are, they speak 1,000 words. In fact, a student who did so well in front of the stage or in the classroom, getting a thumbs up is 1,100 marks. Because for that, he will be, you know, thrilled to have it. Of course, this you can understand. Very happy.
Wow.
Oh, wow. See how the frown. Oh, this. What have you done? What have you done, my child? Wow, you see. When the teacher says, when the teacher gives the thumbs up, the student's expression. Oh, my teacher. Ah, nice.
Well done.
Yeah. Ramat ma'am.
Yes, sir.
I do have a few more slides, but I think I have communicated to them what is to be communicated the most.
Yes.
I have
Yes.
been taking more than 1 hour and 15 minutes now, I think. If that is enough, we can.
Yes, sir. We can. We will. When we conclude.
Any query? Let's have a question answer session or query session instead of elaborating more on this. If you are interested.
Can I just stop the screen sharing? Can I stop it?
Yeah.
Okay.
At the end of it, I would love to have one more, you know, slide. In fact, this is one thing that I deeply believe in, so I thought that I will share it with you to end up. It's a skill that you can learn. It's like riding a bicycle or typing. We are never born into this world with a skill to ride the bicycle, but we learn it. We don't type generally, but we can learn it. If you are willing to work at it, you can rapidly improve the quality of every part of your life. Communication is a wholesome treatment for our entire life. I'm sure you will be able to develop it. If this, you know, words of mine could instill confidence in you or motivate you to do that, it will be a great boost for me because of the next slide. I say so because of this.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Because they communicate the best. Child communicates the best. Teacher communicates the best. Book communicates the best. And one pen, the pen communicates the best. That's why definitely I'm sure that you will be able to do that. Thank you so much for the patient listening. And
thank you so much,
if
sir.
there was anything else you would love to, ask me.
Yes.
Sir?
Okay.
Yeah.
Sir, communication means you already told that the communication skills and all. If we are doing, if we are having one communication, if there is any mistake will be there. So if we having some mistake in English or any other language, can we go for the informal interviews and all? I'm saying about the interviews and all. In mostly in that cases we are very confused. So that will affect our the interview part or communication. It will affect.
Definitely. Your question is very, very good, very well framed question, very well meaning question, and it is actually you know, a trap. I'm not ready to fall into that trap because it takes time. It takes time, Deepa ma'am, but a very, very good question, very intelligent question. Interview, I have faced a number of them. including, certain interviews where I had been selected to go abroad and all the many chances to be interviewed, many chances to interview others also I have got luckily in my life. Interview is all about, as you told, your communication skill. It's not about your, what do you call, knowledge. Nobody in the interview wants to test your knowledge. In the interview, they test what you are, not who you are. Okay. So what you are is decided by the communication skill, verbal and non-verbal. And now the question is how to develop. Am I right, ma'am? Deepa, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
And whether the mistakes can affect, definitely the mistakes can affect your standing. But I will tell you one thing. Please attend as many interviews as possible, whenever possible, even if you are very sure not to be selected. Okay, because when you are sure not to be selected, you can attend that interview with the greatest confidence.
Yes.
You don't have anything to lose.
Yes.
Okay, and
And
that
get
teaches us. Pardon?
experience also will get.
Yeah, it's an experience. So it teaches us a number of lessons. Then, even if we made a few mistakes, for example, our language went wrong, we were not communicating the way we wanted. You wanted to say something and it went the other way around. The best thing to happen is not to worry about it. Okay, be confident. In the interview, not only your language, not only your ability to communicate, but your confidence is also measured. How confident are you? How confident are you in order to make a mistake even? That also is measured. See, people make mistake and become, collapse immediately. But those people who make mistake but still can stand with the mistake, that's tested. So don't worry. Face it as many as possible. Any other?
Is there an age to become a teacher, sir?
Pardon?
Is there an age? Is there an age to become a teacher, like to start a teaching career? Is there an age?
Is there any?
Age.
Age?
At which,
Oh,
yeah.
never. Never.
Okay.
I think I may be sounding a bit crazy. I may be sounding a bit, odd. But I tell you, even a dead body, when you are a dead body also, you can be a teacher. It teaches many lessons to others. A dead body teaches many lessons to others.
Okay.
So any day, even on our D day, we can become a teacher. I tell you,
No, I'm meaning to
this is not a
teach
joke,
the
madam.
little ones.
I tell you, it's not a joke. I have a friend, a teacher friend. We were working together in Cochin. Every month, he will go to a burial. Anybody's burial, he will go to a burial. Okay, it may be somebody related to him, not related to him. It may be in the church, it may be in the cremation ground, anywhere. But he will attend one. I was very shocked by this particular habit. And then I asked him, why, Mr. So and so, are you doing that? He told me, Rajendran sir, you don't understand. That occasion and the dead body teaches me things that nobody else can teach. It grounds me to the earth. It tells me that I am only this much. What a lesson. So the dead body is a teacher. Am I right?
Yeah.
But madam, there is no age. There is no age. There is no limitation. Any day. You are a wonderful teacher already. You asked wonderful questions. You are already a wonderful teacher.
Thank you, sir.
The wonder.
Please.
What kind of teacher would you prefer? A teacher who is good in communication or a teacher who is good in subject knowledge?
Without doubt, the first one.
Communication.
Yeah,
Okay.
because if he has the good communication, he will learn. I will ask him to learn and come and teach. But the subject teacher, lot of knowledge in the subject is there, but he is unable to communicate anything. What use he is of for the students?
Yes. No, so we are afraid of certain candidates, they'll be having a lot of degrees with them, but we will not be having that. So now we are confident. Degree is not the main thing.
No, madam, subject knowledge can be attained if there is interest in that. Communication need to be trained, and you need to have an interest in that.
Yes, sir.
I think Diana ma'am is planning to apply. Send an application to
Pardon?
school.
No, anyway, we got a principal, sir. So like a small recommendation now itself.
Psychology. She just wanted to check a psychology of principals, how they are.
Yeah,
taking
madam. But that's why I told them that this is the way. But when they come to the interview board, I know how to test that again. They will find a different Rajendran here. My language will be different. Body language as well as the spoken language.
Spoken language.
But that's
How
good.
important is discipline, sir? How important is discipline in a like to be a teacher or in a teacher's life?
What do you mean by discipline, madam? Can I know what you mean by discipline?
Discipline means a teacher may be punctual and all, but you said that a teacher has to be presentable. But I have seen many teachers who were very, very good and very grounded and very simple, but they never took care of themselves. Like they never took care of how they look and
That's
those things. Like
that is very important. So definitely, do you agree with that? That means people should bother about their appearance also.
to an extent, it should not be overly done. Like
Yes.
to an extent, it's important.
Yes,
but
yes. And it should not be overtly done. I told you that you need not be a Mammootty, you need not be a Mohanlal, but you can be Rajendran. Rajendran is not that unpresentable. Okay.
Absolutely not.
But I know my limitations also. But about discipline you asked, I will answer you. Discipline is one of the most wrongly interpreted terms in the Indian history, in the Indian education history, or any history. We understand normally in the school context, principal, when he says be disciplined, what does the principal expect? There should be no noise. Children should always move with their hands folded or at the back like this. They should only move in the line. They should not talk to their friends. They should not look here and there. Is it discipline actually?
No.
That is expected only in the jail, I think. This is not a jail. I want my children to talk. I want my children to speak, not talk. I want my children to understand. Discipline is actually self-discipline. It is not imposed from outside. It is actually imposed from within. Discipline is about how you are at peace with yourself. So definitely discipline has a big role.
Okay.
This is what I understand. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. We will officially move to the concluding part.
Please.
Yes, girls.
So, ma'am, I would like to invite Faisa, ma'am, for vote of thanks.
Thank you, Deepa, ma'am. Good afternoon, all. Today, I feel extremely honored and privileged for having given the opportunity to extend a vote of thanks on this auspicious occasion. On behalf of entire NCDC, I take this opportunity to extend my sincere thanks to our honorable guest, Mr. Rajendran K. Sir, the principal of Sri Kendriya Vidyalaya KV, OTTAPALAM, who have taken time out of their busy schedule to grace this occasion with their presence. Your presence and valuable information has added an extra spark to our class and made it even more special. And your thoughts will be surely be going to encourage us in our future events. Finally, I would like to thank our faculty, Rahmat ma'am, who always support and stand with us. And once again, thanks to all my dear friends. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Faiza ma'am.
Thank you.
And thank you so much, sir, that you have accepted our invitation.